Morning, good morning, good morning. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
My name is Paul B. He's Buddy to God.
Hey.
Yeah, welcome, welcome. It is May 29th, 2026. And it is a Friday, which means we're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on this weekend.
A little bit.
Love Supreme Friday, yeah. And definitely let us know what you got going on. We always want to hear about that. Put it in the chat or put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha. And yeah, man, it's kind of a loose Friday today. Wouldn't you say, buddy?
Yeah. We're definitely keeping it loose on this Friday. We're gonna be jumping a little bit everywhere. Not too tight of a thread, but we're gonna get into it today. Definitely have your thinking caps and your conversation ready. Yeah. Let's get going.
Let's go ahead and start the show then.
Let's start the show.
First Sky Omaha. In the morning. Money. Once again, welcome. Thanks for getting up early with us on this Friday, May 29th, 2026. Fresh edition is happening right now. And yeah, it is kind of a Love Supreme Friday, super loose. So we're going to be talking a little bit about what's going on this weekend and also about some of the festivals and things coming up this summer and which ones you planning on going to. We also got our special guest, Amanda Kephart, that's going to join us. We love when she comes around from film streams, and there's some film events that we're going to be talking about coming up. Shout out to everybody who's partnering with them on film events. This is kind of that episode this time around. Lots of partnerships going on. So
Man,
we
squad.
talk about it. Yeah. So thanks for everybody getting up. I see Pops gives us a good Friday morning. Mad love from Las Vegas. Appreciate you, Pops. Also, Sean McCarthy gives us a good morning. Happy Friday, everyone. Happy Friday to you too, bro. How's the job going? Let us know. What's going on with you? Yeah. Other than that, how you doing, buddy? How you feeling this morning?
Man, feeling good. We were definitely out and about on the town yesterday. So yeah, might take it a little easy today, to be honest. But other than that, man, looking forward to our guest. Amanda Kephart is always a joy to speak to. Good folks over at Film Streams. So yeah. All in all, doing all right. How about you, man? What's going on in your world?
Yeah, feeling pretty good. Definitely have used a little more winks. It was a long day yesterday for real, and but a long good day, a long productive day. So yeah, we got a lot done. Got to meet up with a lot of partners. Had a really good meeting with some people with the squad last night. So shout out to Udalale and the Fox Den. You see the Fox Den reposting my post? Did you see that?
Hey, gave us some love. We'll actually be talking about that a little later on. So yeah.
Getting some love for sure. Marlon Harrison gives us a good morning, First Guy family, and happy TGIF, everyone. How you feeling on a Friday? What's going on with you? Let us know. Yeah, man. That's about it for me. I'm just feeling pretty good that the weekend's coming up. We got our last class for the content creators tomorrow. I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, we have to definitely remember to send out some reminders on them bringing their work tomorrow. So
Yep.
can't wait to see what work is afoot. And yeah, I'm very anxious to see what turns out from this particular class here. It's been a fun one. It's been a really interesting one as well. And a shout out to Marlon Harrison for showing up and just kind of coming through and hanging out too, man. It's a pleasure to be able to hang with the alumni and continue the education. So that's what's up. Marlon plays it off like, I ain't got nothing to do on Saturday morning. I'll just keep on through. Yeah, and he be coming through with the support. So yeah, appreciate it.
Man. Also, speaking of content creator alumni, shout out to my man Vince Furlong. Gonna be getting down. Yeah. Hey. Look out, y'all. Look out.
That's right, man. We're working on our citizen journalist army that we've been trying to build and add some more original news and stuff like that to the website. And so based on some of the things we talk about here. So again, your participation on the show is crucial. We love that the chat chimers come in and we have these discussions. A lot of news gets generated during these shows. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing people doing some more writing and putting out some more information out there. The more information, the better. And we took a first couple of years just really trying to figure out how we were gonna find reporters and people that write in the neighborhoods, that they're trusted sources of the neighborhoods. And we just had a really hard time finding some. And that's not just us, par for the course. Mm-hmm. We were talking to Terry Sanders over at Omaha Star, like, yeah, I wish we did have some more black reporters around here. That'd be great. So we decided we needed to grow some. We need to grow an army of citizen journalists, and this content creator camp is really taking off. And I love the work that's getting ready to come out from everybody involved. So
Man.
I'm definitely looking forward to that. Morning, RG gives us a morning, y'all. How y'all doing this morning? Let us know how you feeling, and if you got plans for the weekend. We always want to hear about the plans for the weekend. See what you guys got going on. Seem to be kind of a slower weekend this weekend. I guess next week is going to be First Friday and all the stuff that's happening. So this is kind of a slow weekend, I guess, a little bit. But there are a few
Taking it easy.
community updates I can talk about and jump into a little bit. Uh, we're going to have Johnny No Good coming through. As a matter of fact, this is happening tomorrow. The Beyond the Stigma from 3 to 5 Assembly of the Saints. This is going to be a free event and if you know what Beyond the Stigma is, it's a group where men get together and they're able to have some conversation and keep checks on each other's mental health. And this has been a very successful program that Johnny No Good put on. I just talked to him. We're going to have him on next week to kind of tell us about some of the things that has gone on here with this event, which I think is going to be super awesome. Also, Sunday, the very next day at the Scott Conference Center, this is going to be the Brothers Brunch, mental health awareness. So this is Beyond the Stigma in conjunction with the Urban League. They'll put this on. As you can see, there's going to be a QR code that you can hit there to register to go to this. But this will be great. Men's mental health panel and discussion. Can't get enough of this subject as much as our mental health is suffering these days.
Man.
Going on, man. Big time. These are some great events that are happening. Johnny No Good is a great host. Really makes you feel like you can open up, share your story, and have a discussion and get some support. Man, it's a rare thing to be in a room with a bunch of brothers who are feeling your pain, supporting you, letting you talk, letting you get it out, and provide some advice and stuff like that if you're asking for it. So. This is going to be an interesting one too, interesting weekend, and I can't wait to speak to Johnny No Good summary with his summary of how these discussions and panel discussions went
Man.
next week. Yeah, man, it's going to be awesome. Shout out to Johnny No Good and all the people putting this together, man, in a real way. Also, the Redress Movement is putting a housing justice potluck together. First Monday of every month, First Presbyterian Church, 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. Grab a bite with us, socialize, and learn about our current housing justice campaign. No better way to get people together than to bring have some food involved. So shout out to Clarice Dombeck for putting this together. She said you can contact her at cdombeck@redressmovement.org or call or text 402-242-6871. Potluck is a great idea. I think we should have more of those types of things. So this is an opportunity for you to bring your signature dish out. And everybody kind of get together, have a potluck, have some food, and have a good talk. That's the only thing that I feel like we're missing here on First Sky Omaha. We can't share food while we have these. That'd be nice if we could. But here's the opportunity to do it in person. Highly suggest you check in with the Redress Movement, great organization, and Clarice Dombeck is doing some great work. So I tend to try to support everything that she got going on in a real way. So definitely check out this housing justice potluck every first Monday of every month. That's Monday coming up. So we'll be talking about it for sure. Speaking of Monday coming up, I didn't pull this yet, but we need to talk about what's going on at the Ruth Sokoloff Theater because it's going to be some important stuff. As a matter of fact, in the spirit of film streams, since we'll be talking about it, we definitely need to talk about the Florida project that's going to be shown at film streams on Monday night. That's that. What is it called? I can't think of the name of this program that they got going on.
The checkup.
The checkup. Thank you. With UNMC. Yeah. It'll be something we'll talk about a little later on the show. But we'll definitely get ready to check out the Florida project. We always talk about events, films, and talks that are happening over at film streams. Like we're going to be talking about more today, and this is the next one coming up for us is Monday. So highly suggest you come and support. We got First Sky Omaha fam, Tamara Dwyer, who's going to be moderating and doing some things. So it's going to be a good one. Like I said, we'll talk more about it a little later on the show. But get ready to get your tickets for the Florida project Monday night. It's going to be a doozy. It'll be a good one. This is coming up, which I love. Raquel Henderson posted in Friends of First Sky Omaha this community vision meeting. Shout out to Dominique Ron and everybody over at Heart Ministry Centers, our partners over there, they want to talk to you about what's going on with this grocery store that's coming in. So on June 17th, you mark this on your calendars, June 17th from 6 to 8, they're going to be at venue at the Highlander. And you need to RSVP for this, but this is going to be a talk with the community about the intentions, what they're doing with this grocery store, and get a little feedback from you on the grocery store situation as well. So lots going on here with this. Heart Ministry is hosting the community vision meeting to further share the mission behind the North Omaha grocery store being built in North Omaha, and hear directly from the community about what they would like to see from it. And here's a link that you can check out for you to be able to RSVP for this. Get in there and see what it's all about. So this is great. I know that they had planned on doing some community meetings about it, and this is the first one I'm seeing here. So this is going to be a good one for us that are interested in that situation over there at the grocery store to get a little feedback and hear some more information on it as well. Highly suggest you check that out. So there you go. We'll save some more of the updates a little later on the show, community updates. Not a lot going on this weekend, but there are some haps happening. We'll talk about them throughout the show. And if you have any haps, anything that you think you want to share with us, let us know. Love to hear about it. Put it in the chat. Put it in Friends of First Sky Omaha if you would. And we'll see about trying to get some people to it. With that, I'm going to turn it over to Buddy to talk about what's going on with today's thread. If there is a thread, it might just be a day of us hopping around the earth here talking about some things.
Yeah, not too much of a thread. We'll be revisiting some conversations we've been having here recently, and just giving some love, man. It is a Love Supreme Friday, so keeping it loose and starting with love is a good way to start. So you kind of mentioned our good partners and friends over at Udalale and the Fox Den. There's actually another similar situation going on in Lincoln that's getting some love. So we want to highlight that out in Lincoln. Ebor is the name of the restaurant. Again, helping our formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters. Definitely want to talk about that. Kind of following the money a little bit. So yeah, we'll give some love to that. Also, Having Express is a pretty interesting article. This is something that we've been talking about as far as a step up program. The summer is getting close. Empowerment Network is starting their step up program here very soon. And here's a success story that we wanted to highlight. Something that we've been talking about over the last couple of years since we saw all those 600 kids at the conference getting down.
Yeah, it was dope.
Yeah, man. And the more we, dig into some of the resources and just, continue to learn what the network really has to offer, definitely, want to express that. So shout out to Brother Nunn over there at Having Express. We'll be talking about that. But also, as I mentioned, we'll be getting into some conversations we've been having about AI here. Actually, there's some power things that's coming out. Apparently, OPPD is making a right move. Yeah, don't look yet, but hey, as we say, a broken clock is right twice a day. Looks like they are unveiling a new solar farm. So definitely a clean energy. Yeah. You think of OPBD and clean energy, that's not necessarily a thought that we have too often, but we'll be talking about it. And then also, speaking of energy, have to get into the AI of it all. And now our partners at Flatwater Free Press are reporting on nuclear power making its way to Nebraska. What does that mean? What is it for? And also on this Love Supreme Friday, I do want to get into, as we prepare for our guest Amanda Kephart from Film Streams, another film that's been highlighted from a Nebraska high school student looking at AI, actually, and how AI is impacting teens' relationships and mental health. So again, a little Love Supreme expression, if you will. So we'll be getting into all that and more. If there's anything we're not getting into, missing the mark, breaking news, it's Friday, man. So feel free to drop that into the chat. Let your mind be free. Let your voice be heard. Let's get into it. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
What's the word?
Yeah. We'll go to take a quick break and come back and jump into some conversation again. Anything that's on your hearts and minds, not just news and breaking news and things that are going on here that we're concerned about, but also, just Love Supreme stuff. How you living a lie with one another? What are you doing with the family? How is the family? There's been some friends of mine that's been online. I noticed that are going through some hardships, so they're asking for prayers up. And, people in the hospital and things going on. So we support for people who support people is also something that I try to really remember to do. A lot of times people are the ones that you go to all the time need some support back a little bit. So we're always checking in with the caretakers and making sure everybody's okay. And that goes for you and your family too. So please do. Please don't come on through. I see people in the chat. Kimber Snipes giving us a good morning. Appreciate you coming through. Also, Ariel's 402 says Bellevue, Nebraska. Looks like Ignacio. Check it out, man. Ignacio Sanchez. He says, I have the day off at home behind the keyboard and cellular. That's what's up, man. Haven't
Okay.
seen your actual name in a while, Mayor Sanchez. That's what's up. Appreciate that. Appreciate you coming through. Also, RG says, excuse me. RG says Urban Survival Club is going to be casting lines in the water tomorrow. We saw them the other day. Yeah, we saw a video the other day of the kids over at Malcolm X Memorial Foundation practicing off of the lanai there with the poles and trying to learn how to cast. And now they're going to be casting in the waters. It seems like. Go ahead and learn how to fish and get busy with it. So shout out to Brother Kasim, the Urban Survival Club, Aaron Forte, everybody that's behind taking those kids out and teaching them a thing or two outside.
Man. Teach a man how to fish.
There you go. Kimber Snipe says, doing some deep canvassing tomorrow, then meeting up with Justin Solomon, a candidate for Board of Regents on Sunday. We've been hearing a lot about Board of Regents lately.
Yeah, and the deep canvassing.
And the deep canvassing too. Right. Yeah, that's interesting. I'm still wrapping my head around meeting some folks from out of town that come here to deep canvas. That's
it is
something else. Something else. They're seeing the mission in a broader way. It's just interesting to think about how they're working that. Very interesting indeed. Also, Miss Erica Felt in the chat is saying good morning. Good morning to you. Here's Tamara Dwyer in the chat. Shout out.
Hey.
Good morning. Appreciate it. She says, I'll be there. Omaha checkups going down Monday night. We got to get busy over there for real. She says on the panel, not moderating. Okay, cool. Yeah, you're going to be up on stage with a mic. So that's what's up. Appreciate that. Also, Miss Erica Felt says, I jumped on quick before children come so I can thank Miss Kephart for I Love Boosters. I needed that. Yeah.
Hey.
Super
Bay
dope.
Area love.
Bay Area love for real. Yeah, that was good. I was happy to see you when you walked up. I was like, yes, somebody from the area knows what's happening on this film for real. But shout out to Film Streams for showing that Boots Riley film. I Love Boosters. And we'll be talking about that a little bit more. She was very excited about it too when I talked to her last as it was coming. So again, Amanda Kephart from Film Stream is going to join us a little bit later on in the show. We'll talk a lot about some of the films that are coming up as well. There's some good ones coming too, like with some panels. And so I'm really, really looking forward to. So that's what's up. Also, Ariel's 42 says, hit the love like button. Hit the love button. Show some love. Appreciate that. Michelle Moreno gives us a good morning, everyone. Happy Friday. How you feeling? You feeling better yet? I know you wasn't feeling too great. You run too hard. That boy's party was one of the biggest graduation parties I've ever seen. So you did a great job. I know you're recovering. Miss Erica Feld says, a few children last days today and they graduate from kindergarten. Bittersweet day. Excited for family picnic Saturday. Put on the brighten our futures at Benson Park. Join us. Okay. We need more information on this. Let us know. Love that. Kimber says no shade, but the canvassing thing that happens now is very transactional. Yeah, it's a new one on me. Very strange. It seems strange. Yeah,
trying to figure it out.
You too. You trying to figure it out too, buddy? It is different. It is. I didn't even know it was going on like that. We'll talk about it. It's really interesting. Election season is just weird, all the way around. Kimber says we knock a door, talk for 3 minutes, and bounce. Transactional. She says, that's Miss Erica Felt talking to her. Interesting. Always has been. No shade. The canvassing thing that happens now is very transactional. We have to get into it. In the meantime, between time, we'll take a quick break and come on back. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. Paul B, that's me. Buddy the God, that's him.
Hey.
Going down on the Love Supreme Friday. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All B. That's me, Buddy the Guy. That's him. Chat chimers, appreciate you coming in. Ghost listeners, appreciate you tuning in. And monitoring spirits, appreciate you spying on us. Yep. Keep it up, keep it up. Tamara Dwyer put some information in on the Friends of First Sky Omaha page, some access points. Access points are the first point of contact for people experiencing homelessness. These partner locations connect people to essential resources like shelter, food, and other supportive services. Location information and hours are subject to change. Visit the website for dates, updates, resources, and downloadable access point flyers. I'll put that link in the chat for you to grab this one. This is the Douglas County access point flyer right here, which has some resources on it, as you can see, youth emergency services and so on and so forth. And here is the Sarpy County one in Potawatomi County as well. So there's a couple of flyers there. We'll put that in Friends. Well, she already put that in Friends of First Sky Omaha, so go over there and check that out if you need that. And then you can hit that link and get all this information as well. So shout out to Tamara Dwyer for helping us out with some of the resources. We'll also probably eventually put that on our website as well. We have a resource page that we're building on the website. You can go there and check that out as well, and we'll put some of those resources up there. In the meantime, between time, again, we're kind of a loose day today. It is kind of a Love Supreme Friday, and so we really want to hear from you today as well. Some of the things that are on your mind, we'd love to hear from you on those things too. So shout out. Before we get to it, Kimra Snipes. I see. That's Miss Erica Felt saying Sanita Budai is feeding families. Has crafts and games for a true family day picnic this Saturday. Free for everyone. She could also use just a couple more volunteers and donations. I'll post in Friends. Appreciate that.
All right.
Yeah, appreciate that. I love the fact that she's got some things going on too. Shout out to all the work she's doing, taking care of the babies as well. Miss Sunita Budai. Also, Kimberly is saying you have to sign up for membership, but membership is free. For which thing? I'm losing you.
The Analyst Institute. So,
Analyst.
Deep Canvassing.
Oh, okay. Deep Canvassing. Got it. Right on. Yeah, share that information. Friends of, for sure. RG in the chat is saying, usually I travel for my birthday in August, but with flight prices being what they are, I might stick around here and slide by Noma Fest. Okay.
Hey, okay.
Yeah. Come on, where do you usually go out of town on your birthday? Let us know. Love to hear that. Kimmer says, I've been a fan of Deep Canvassing since probably 2019 maybe, but no one funding that sort of activity here locally. Okay. Deep Canvassing. New one on me. Learning something all the time.
Yeah, constantly learning.
Constantly. Let's keep learning right now, buddy. What you got for us next? What's happening?
Yeah, man, constantly learning about some of the resources and things out there for our formerly incarcerated brothers and sisters is actually where I want to start on this Love Supreme Friday. You know, no better way to start off with than a little love. And this is in the spirit of our dinner meeting last night. Shout out to our good friend Diane Good Collins and the good folks over at Udalale, again, doing the good work. But I'm learning about a similar effort in Lincoln. And again, always wondering what's going down in Lincoln. They seem to, have things figured out in some ways. And this is definitely one of those examples. This is being reported by Nebraska Public Media, talking about Ebor, which again is a pop-up restaurant that is in the spirit, in the vein of Udalale. And if you're not familiar with Udalale, again, this is a very high class restaurant that employs formerly and some currently incarcerated brothers and sisters, giving them a second chance. And also in the example, or in the case of this Ebor, which was founded by Bill Radke. He says the program does more than just build job skills. It also builds understanding, saying what we want to do is help create interactions between people who've never met someone who spent time incarcerated to realize this is another human being that's doing their best to navigate life, and they're just trying their best. And when you can humanize someone, it creates empathy, and that empathy allows us a wider society to be more accepting to someone Now, EBOR, again, is a nonprofit focused on reducing odds a person returns to prison, and it could help even more formerly incarcerated people. Over the past 4 years, according to the article, Nebraska has seen a steady increase in releases in 2025. Reportedly 2,073 people were released from incarceration, and according to the 2026 mandatory discharge report. And just for comparison, in 2022, that number was down to about 1,900. So again, reminding us that Nebraska still has one of the, if not the most overcrowded prison system. So our brothers and sisters coming out back into society could definitely use some help, use some direction, use a positive environment. And again, shout out to the likes of not just Udalale, Ebor, but also the Fox Den, which is getting down as well, expanding the efforts. And yeah, man. Again, I know you've gone into some of the prisons, Paul, and of course, we've done some of the work. Speaking of our content creators camp, going into some of the facilities and talking to those brothers and sisters about their journalistic aspirations and what could possibly be an opportunity once they come out. What say you about this?
Well, like I said, being closely related to especially the 180 rap program with Diane Good
Man.
Collins over the years, doing some documentary films and stuff with them, and going inside the prisons, and of course, like you just mentioned, our content creator camp extended to that too. We did some citizen journalism training with some people that were in the program coming out. A lot of people were very interested in what they can do to change their whole environment, and it's spurred by these programs that I'm really impressed by. Programs that Diane Good in particular has been putting together, like the Life program, which gives you some wraparound sources. When you come out, you might not have resources that your family normally would be able to help you out with: a place to live, place to stay, a way to get to work, clothing. Sometimes it's just down to like having to get some clothing, having to learn how to use a phone, depending on how long you was in. That those types of things. And so when it's interesting that the people that we hang around here kind of look at everything in a real holistic way.
Mm-hmm.
How can we, you don't just help one part of help that a person needs. A person needs a lot of help sometimes, wraparound services. So some of these things, some of these services are out there in order to really kind of help people get on their feet. And I got to say, giving them a place to work. First of all, just when you think about the stigma of coming out and having to try to find a job, a lot of people don't want to hire people that have been inside, and so that's a big problem. So just that one aspect alone, where they have something like a 99% a rate of getting people jobs, and even creating jobs for them to have when they come out, like in the case of Udalale, is just incredible for get people going. A lot of people come out with aspirations to be a chef or to start their own company, start their own business, their own restaurant, and these are steps closer to it. Gets people there, and shout out to Metropolitan Community College. We don't talk about them enough. They offer classes. They give people education, you get degrees, all kinds of stuff, and they're really heavy in the reentry program situation. There's the other entities out there like Rise, but the 180 Rap program in particular, since it's connected to MCC, means that you can get education, take classes, and really kind of further your careers as well. Not just get help that you need when you get out, but also give you a future. So shout out to Randy Schmagel and Diane Good and everybody over there at MCC that has housed that project. And I love to see it. It's interesting because that's all I see is that end of it, the end of successful, transition out into the world and doing some good work. So I know there's other sides of it, but that's the side I've been really closely related to here. So
Man, and that's
yeah.
the side we should focus on. Again, it's so easy to look at and talk about, and we should, but not solely focus on the things that aren't working, but also, talk about the things that are working. And it seems like these types of programs are working. So again, not only shout out to what Metro and Diane and Rap 180 is doing, but also this effort out in Lincoln. Again, we kind of look at Lincoln as our sister community. You know what I mean? Like big shout out to some of our listeners out there. Again, if you're out in the Lincoln area and want to support, Ebor is actually opening their brick and mortar out there in Lincoln. So again, following suit of what Diane Good is doing with Udalale. If you're interested, 1 second, we get the address for you. Ebor is opening its first brick and mortar in downtown Lincoln at Antelope Tower. That's near 19th and K Street. So again, if you're familiar with the Lincoln area, support because that's the big thing. Also, is one thing to for Diane and those to create these programs, but you got to maintain them. You got to keep them, man. We need everybody, all hands on deck to support. So
Mm-hmm.
big time, big time. So yeah, moving along, actually kind of sticking with the food endeavors though, looking at brother in Haven Express, who's kind of close to our heart as far as the Step Up program. Shout out to Willie Barney and the Empowerment Network and what they're doing with the Step Up program. This is actually one of the success stories of Step Up. Again, Haven Express was founded by young brother Nunn, who again was actually a member or a participant of Flat or not Flatwater, but Step Up when he was 14. And this is reported by KMTV3 as you see on your screen. And looks like he's poised to keep it going. The gift that keeps on giving, which is the idea for all of this. Devontae Nunn, again, says that he joined the program at 14 years old. And again, if you don't know the Step Up program, which you actually, speaking of our content creator camp, had some Step Up instructors in a part of our content creator camp last year. So definitely got some of that expertise, if you will. The program gives young people hands-on experience and fields they're interested in, helping them prepare for the workforce. His first placement was actually at a bank, and it taught him something valuable. He says, it was real complex for me. I didn't want to get into banking, but that experience pushed him to reflect on what he truly did want, which is something that even some teens, don't have the luxury, let's just call it what it is, to even think about. Oftentimes being stuck in survival mode, which you talk about a lot. But he says that memory became the foundation for Haven Express, which started as a food truck and recently opened their own brick and mortar in downtown Omaha. And now settled in his career, he's focused on giving back to young people from communities like his. He plans to offer kids from the Step Up program the chance to see firsthand what hard work can lead to. And again, we've actually been looking at maybe trying to get some Step Up kids. Again, shout out to Willie Barney and those who are working closely and familiar with the Step Up program. And yeah, storytelling. These success stories can definitely keep the ball rolling.
I'm glad this was out there. Shout out to KMTV 3
Yes, yes.
for posting this story because we don't always hear about these kinds of things, and there's a lot of people who are always real skeptical about what's going on with empowerment. We were too when we first started, and we decided we wanted to really look into it closely and see what was going on and see a whole lot of good that's happening. One of the times we went to the annual event, we passed by a classroom of 600 people, 600 kids who were getting some instruction, getting some inspiration, and we're signing up to the Step Up program. I remember last year Willie Barney said that they were trying to get their numbers back up. They were up to 700, 800, sometimes 900 kids before COVID hit, and then the numbers dropped and they went back down to maybe about 500 or 600. The time that we saw them, there was about 600 there, and I think there's about 657 this round, and they're trying to get back up to about 1,000 kids a year to do this program. If you don't know what the Step Up program is, you kind of go check it out. Go look at the website and see what all is involved. But basically, it's a program that provides some kids for jobs for kids, like summertime kind of gigs like that, and get them in certain careers too. Looking down the pathway at certain things they might want to be interested in and do. So awesome program, and as a matter of fact, it's so awesome of a program. They made an adult version of the program called Skill Up, and the Skill Up program that they got going on now too is for adults who want to skill up, find a different career, find a new skill to change careers or up their income level in the career that they're in. So a couple of really good programs, and I love hearing stories like this. Like I said again, shout out to KMTV3 for highlighting this. A brother that was in the Step Up program and is inspired to open his own business up. You already know how hard that is, especially in the food industry. Yeah, and then giving a hand up to some kids, giving jobs to kids that were in the same situation he is. I mean, you can't get better than that as far as the success story is concerned. So it'd be interesting to talk to more people if you're involved and you know anybody who's been involved in the Step Up program, or has some success stories like that, something that sent them off in the right direction, let us know. Love to hear about that. Not just a step up program. I'm also thinking about stuff like uh, what's the program that Tim Clark always talks about that he was in? It's a music program that a lot of people were in back in the day. I can't remember the name of it. Can't remember the name of it right now, but yeah, there's some programs out there that I feel like we always wonder about these programs and if they work is really kind of what the question is. And of course, they work for some, don't work for others. But there's a lot of success stories out there too, and I always hear people talk about that. Like this is the turning point was when they joined this program. I remember, Buddy, you talking about a program that had you going and looking at other colleges and schools around the country.
Upward Bound.
Upward Bound. That's the one I was thinking about. Upward Bound, right? So again, there's some, if you've been involved with Upward Bound or Step Up or any of these kinds of programs or know somebody that has, we'd love to hear more stories about how it's worked. And they're always taking feedback on how to make it even better too. So yeah, this is one that encourages me when I think about what Omaha needs. We think about, we always are asking, what is there out there for the kids? There's actually some things out there for the kids.
Man, I mean, really, that is coming down to the realization that I'm coming to, and you kind of came out in conversations we were having yesterday as far as the resources and, meeting up with partners and hearing about the work that they're doing. There's actually a lot of good work being done out there. It just feels like there is a gap between those doing the work, finding those who are in need of the work that's being done, and those who are in the need of the work being done, knowing where those resources are and knowing where to turn. And a lot of people are just feeling like, I don't know what to do. I don't know who to talk to. I don't know where to go. So again, we're trying our best, to keep that going, to amplify. And when we see these types of stories, to blast them out. Again, we do have our community resource page, which we are working on and definitely looking at and thinking about how to grow. So again, that is a resource, but there are other things. I know the Empowerment Network, they have their village map that's available. And then even shout out to Tamara Dwyer sharing some of those other touch points and resources that are out there in the community as well. Again, we'll continue to try to figure out how to streamline that stuff and make it more accessible for those who really need it. But in the meantime, we're going to keep on keeping on, man, amplifying and blasting out what's really out there, because the more we learn, the more we see, we got. But that's enough, y'all. That's enough. So definitely. Big shout out.
Hey, thanks for Kimra for reminding us. She says I had some Step Up kids in one Omaha, so that's what's up. She's also said my son was in Step Up. Love to hear about that for sure. Love to hear about all of the success stories that are out there. Definitely let us know. We're in anticipation of our special guest coming in shortly. We're going to jump into something else before we do, but stay tuned. Amanda Kephart from Film Streams is going to join us. So I'll get ready for that. But in the meantime, before we get to that, you got one more thing we want to jump into first?
Yeah, if that's all right, we're going to take a quick break and kind of smell the coffee beans. Actually set up for our guests. There's a film that's a student highlighted, and then we can get into what Film Streams has to get into as far as our Love Supreme of the day. So yeah.
Okay, a little early. We'll go ahead and start we'll go ahead and go to a break and come back and jump into it. Stay tuned. You're listening to First Sky Omaha in the morning. All B, Buddy the Guide. We'll be right back, y'all. There we go.
Get ready, Omaha. Join us for the Omaha Freedom Festival, a free, family-friendly celebration of Juneteenth on June 13th at Miller Park. Enjoy free food, community resources, and family fun from 12 to 5 p.m. Play basketball, kickball, dance, activities for all ages. Enter for a chance to win great prizes. Download your free day pass now at omahafreedomfestival.com. Celebrate freedom, family, food, and fun. The Omaha Freedom Festival. Everyone's invited and everything's free.
There you go. Speaking of some things to do with the kids, shout out to Calvin Williams, who we ran into yesterday just on the street, on Sesame Street. And yeah, so shout out to Calvin Williams and everything he's doing there for that day. Of course, you see that's coming up, so definitely get ready and get your kids out there and have some fun. They're doing this every year and it grows every year. We heard tens of thousands of people going to be at some of these concerts here this time around. So yeah, got a little insight from Calvin Williams. We'll have him on the show here next week too to talk about a lot of these Freedom Fest situations that's coming up. But yeah, shout out to him for all of that. Shout out to Marlon Harrison, says I'm going to be a step up coach this summer.
Hey, okay.
First guy fam in the house already being a step up coach. I love that. That's what's up. Yeah, you love that for the kids. Pop says, this song gets me. Oh, all I hear is I follow you. But what's the real phrase? I found you is what it is. It can be I follow you though. That's what you hear. That's what you hear.
Hey.
So, I found and followed you. That's what it is.
Hey,
so,
there you go.
Yeah. Appreciate you, Pops. Appreciate all of you. Welcome back. Very shortly here we have our special guest Amanda Kephart coming through. In the meantime, between time, let's set it up, buddy. What you got for us over there?
Yeah, actually wanted to on this Love Supreme Friday talk about a project from a student that kind of exemplifies a Love Supreme for me as far as expressing some personal things, as far as what's going on in your life and using the medium of film to do just that. And this is something that we've been talking about, but in a way we haven't really talked about it. Of course, we've talked about AI from the power to, following the money to what's going on with surveillance and the infrastructure of this federal government. But I am also hearing, as AI infiltrates and makes its way into the education system, the impact that it's having on the youth and the youth speaking up as far as their voice being added to this whole debate and conversation nationally happening around AI and the real impact and implications of AI. And this is reported by WOWT, an Auburn high school student out in Auburn, Nebraska, showed 300 educators how artificial intelligence is reshaping teenage relationships and mental health through his award-winning short film. Bo Thomas, who's a junior from Auburn, screened his film Disconnected at a Kim Foundation conference. It is a 13-minute short film that has been in production for over a year. He says, I want people to be able not only watch the struggles of somebody going through it, but come to understand the warning signs and symptoms of the problem. He actually compared AI to a drug, saying it is very similar to a drug. I will retract from my actual social circle of friends who cared about me and who are willing to be there for me, but I would kind of choose to talk to those AI bots instead. The film depicts teens finding comfort in their phones and automated messages. Also, Thomas says it's like an anglerfish where you have that lovely little luring light attached to a gaping mouth that is ready to swallow you whole. It would leave me feeling in dismay, really. So again, this project and this screening was put on by the Kim Foundation. Molly Verbal, who's an executive director of the Kim Foundation, says young people are increasingly turning to technology as AI makes its way into, again, education, but just really every facet of our life. Saying now more than ever they are leaning on their phones AI technology. Now you have to hear directly from the youth what the key issues are and what are their challenges. And again, it goes conversation rules the nation, man. Of really finding the more we do this, the importance in that, and just having these conversations and letting the people speak for themselves about what their experiences are. And a lot of times we can kind of exclude the youth from these conversations, even though, as I'm hearing more and more at these college graduation celebrations, that AI is actually being thrust down these youth's throat, and they're not here for it. They're actually not very excited about AI. So that again, hear these young folk speak up, and especially in a Love Supreme way. Again, Disconnected is the name of this film. I'm here for it, man. I'm here for it. Paul, what say you? I know you're a film guy.
Yeah, man. This is the first time hearing about it, so I'm definitely looking forward to looking into it and checking it out. I hope we can find and see it somewhere. Definitely want to hear the youth expression about what's going on right now with this tool. Miss Erica Felt in the chat says, we do not fool with AI. It's a huge contributor to the dumbing down of America while Americans think they're doing something slick. I don't know. Like I said, I appreciate your opinion on that for sure. I appreciate how you feeling. I think it is something that can dumb down. They said the same thing about TV. They said the same thing about all other media. And I tend to look at AI as a tool that you have to learn how to use and not, and use it for what it's for. You don't take you don't beat a nail in with a wrench. So you got to have the right tool and figure out what it's for, and not let it overwhelm you and overcome you. Can be used for some good as well. But yeah, I just think that in general, there's a dumbing down going on. Whatever tools are out there, they said the same thing about the internet. Like it's whatever tools are out there, there's a dumbing down going on because of a lack of critical thinking about all these things. So sometimes I feel like I was lucky to be able to had come from a generation that didn't have it, and then moved into having it. I kind of remember those times when you had to figure some things out on your own first.
Mm-hmm.
That seems to be a baseline for me. So when things come in and I see it can just take everything over. For me, I'm able to be like, oh yeah, okay, but my baseline here is that this is just a tool. This is just something that I can I balance it out with real life. I understand that these kids that don't have that reference ain't able to do that all the time. So it's
Mm-hmm.
very
Mm-hmm.
imperative to be able to try to infuse that in the kids along with the use of what's going on here too. But it's interesting how the kids are pushing back. That's really kind of a very interesting side note to this thing.
Yeah, I've seen a few reports of like keynote speakers at graduations who are representing AI companies who are, trying to tout the future of AI and how all of you graduates are the future and this is where, and they're not having it. They're booing speakers and they're not having it at all. So again, it is very interesting to hear that, and of course, the love supreme of it all. Young folk using other mediums to express exactly how they're feeling.
Right on. Well, I'll tell you exactly how we're feeling right now. We're feeling pretty good that we are able to speak to Amanda Kephart, who is from Film Streams, and that we're partnered with Film Streams. There's a lot we can talk about, especially when it comes to filmmaking. This kid's film, I can't wait to see it. Like this is the kind of
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
that I feel like we would see at a Film Streams too. So like, it sparked the conversation, which is what it's all about. We got some good
Yeah, man.
films that's going to spark some conversation this time around. So we'll go ahead and get into it. So without further ado, we're bringing our special guest, ladies and gentlemen. Amanda Kephart is joining us this morning. Good morning.
Hey.
Can't hear you yet. Yep, you got turn your mic up. We couldn't hear you.
Good
There,
morning.
there
Can
you
you hear me? I'm so sorry.
It's okay. It happens.
I-
It's Friday. It's okay.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
is Friday.
Exactly.
You got a big mug of coffee there. I like that. Heard
Good
that. I
morning,
can-
friends.
Good morning.
Good morning. How have you been? It's been a little bit. It's been a month, I guess, right?
Yeah, a few weeks.
Well,
Last month?
you and I saw it, Paul. You and I saw each other in person 2 weeks ago. I think 2 weeks ago.
I remember.
Yeah, you you came down and did some intros for Jazz on a Summer's Day, which was gracious of you, and they were lovely. It was wonderful.
Oh, it's so funny that you said. I meant to hit you up later on and be like, I got this kind of flash. Like, did I do okay? I didn't even think about if I did
Yes,
okay.
yes.
Okay,
You were wonderful.
good. All right, good. That's what you guys are looking for. I really appreciate doing that. It was super fun. I got to check out the film first and get what I thought about it, and it really sparked like my film education for me to think about how to present the film and get people thinking about it since then. And since that Jazz on a Summer's Day film, I've been upping my game with the style because the people dressed on that film was so cold.
Sharp.
I was like, even everybody in the audience, I mean, it was something else. I was very impressed.
Those were still the days when you dress up to go on the airplane. Like
Mm-hmm.
Right.
people were wearing suits and like the whole shebang. So yeah, like it's even that is like shocking. To think that 70 years ago. I mean, we've come a long way, baby.
58. They filmed that in 58, and it was dressed so sharp. It was ridiculous. I was like, not just people on stage, bro, in the audience.
Yes, and on
Style
on a hot weekend
on
to
a
sit in
hot
the
summer's
sun.
day.
Full
Summer's
suit.
Day.
We
Mr.
have
Jazz.
Brother Reese sent us over a lot of films to things that are coming up, and we are very excited about a few of them. So let's jump
Yes.
in. First of all, give us a little highlight. What's been just thinking the last like couple weeks? What's been one of your favorite moments at film streams, or your favorite talks, films? We know that every time you come on here, you shed a tear. So what made you
I
cry
know.
in the last 2 weeks?
I don't even remember. It's like that's the beautiful thing of what we're doing right now. We're working so hard to engage so many of our different audiences in
Yeah,
different ways that like honestly it all feels like a blur, which is fun.
yeah.
You know,
No, I get that. Yeah.
I have to look back at the calendar. Actually, this has been a office heavy, not afternoon evening heavy month for me. But here's
Oh.
what I will say. Our Dundee Marquee series, which I think is almost fully sold out. You and I talked about that a little bit, Paul. We've got like Persepolis coming up, The Wiz is coming up, Charade is next month.
Hmm.
June is in a few days. The Wiz is in July. I think there's still a couple of tickets left for that. Persepolis is in August. I think we still have a few tickets left for that. We're doing Thelma and Louise, Everything Everywhere All at Once. So that is always like really great and fun to see because we have, this audience of 300 people at the Dundee where the series is taking place. And it's just beautiful to like see all these people sitting together collectively. Um, I don't think I've been on since we had the premiere of Omaha either. And
Right.
yeah, I did the intro for that. And definitely, I think I had some hot tears streaming down my face because, we talked about it, but like what a complex movie. And I think the audience reaction was amazing. There's a lot of buzz sort of about John Magaro being nominated. Yes, you can. Yes, Miss Erica, come draped in gold. John Magaro, got a little bit of Oscar nomination kind of buzz going, which is pretty early, but the questions from the audience were great, and like no matter what the subject matter is, in my opinion, the Midwest deserves more shine. So anything that's drawing some type of uh, direction to us, and the people we are here doing the work we're doing here, I think is really important. So,
Yeah, actually, I think in the film realm, didn't the Omaha Film Festival just get some national acclaim or get some love? Did I miss that?
I think so. Omaha Film Festival is doing really well. We've got a lot of film festivals happening in Nebraska, which is amazing. There's a very strong filmmaker and film supporter community here. We're always kind of chatting with our local film festival, our teams. We're trying to ingratiate ourselves more and see what those conversations can look like. We've spoken with the Omaha Film Festival team a couple times. We actually just spoke with our friends over the Benson Film Festival, which primarily runs out of the Benson Theater. There's a couple other film festivals I need to send some emails about so we can begin a conversation. But like this activation of our community is like so important right now. COVID language. Now more than ever, it's important that people know that there are communities that you can go to get respite or enjoyment or support. And the arts is always a medium with which one can gain those things.
Yeah,
Definitely.
Speaking of the arts, I happened to attend the I Love Boosters film over at Dundee.
Yes.
And shout out to Marcy Yates and Culture House and the little fashion show they put on there in the
The
intro.
Yates.
Yeah, man. Yeah, really pushing the arts. I really loved it. And Boots Riley film is wild.
Yes.
Super
Yes.
wild.
The film is wild. We're big fans of Marcy. Like, known him for years. I wouldn't even say socially, just through work, right?
Mhm.
And I love every single time I get to spend time with him. I think he's delightful, and he's such an artist mind.
Yeah.
And we're lucky to have someone like him in town. So
That's what struck me too, because we talk about the films that are important. We talk about partnerships with people like UNMC, talking about health, like we got
Yes.
Monday coming up,
yes,
and all these things that are serious. Deep movies like Omaha and the one that just passed. One's the tear jerkers, and then the experts on the panel that we need to talk seriously about things, and then we have lighter things that happen, like I Love Boosters, Marcy Yates, his team doing a fashion show down the sides of the aisles,
Yep.
and so it's not just all heavy stuff. It's also very important Love Supreme fun stuff as well. So
Yeah. And we do try to be mindful of pairing lightness with some of the heavier films and conversations we have. Like, we love to have fun. We were just Clayton and I were just talking about that yesterday. Clayton Shelgren, who works with me, general manager of collaboration and events. We like to have fun at work. We love it when we walk in and everything's humming and flowing. Our team feels good. We feel good. The audience feels good. The popcorn smells right. You can hear the soda machine going, the crinkle of candy wrappers. Like, there's just something really magical about our spaces.
It is.
Exactly. The
Well,
magic, and does not look like the magic is slowing down. As Paul mentioned, on Monday you have another very similar event, and actually a
Yes.
lot of partners involved with this. Can you kind of speak about this checkup series in the Florida Project film?
Yes. So we're working with UNMC, College of Public Health,
mhm.
this month for the series Omaha Checkup. It's really about, creating space to talk about public health, which again is wide ranging and varied and vast, from environmental safety to addressing homelessness, which is what this film this month is addressing, or in June this month, 30 days, whatever. So we're showing on Monday night at 6:30, The Florida Project. Super excited about that, and it's the title of the film actually comes from what Walt Disney called the area in Florida that he bought to sort of build Disney World on, called it the Florida Project, which is loaded and heavy in a number of reasons. Love me some Disney, right? That doesn't mean that we can't acknowledge that Walt Disney was not a great guy. So, I think they've done a good job in trying to do the things that they need to do. But back to the film. The film really is about housing insecurity, homelessness, what it means to be a child involved in that, a parent involved in that. And we're super excited. We've been working with Paul Wiseapple, who is an amazing, vivacious human. I've known Paul for quite some time. And so he is spearheading this panel discussion this month, and we're excited for it to happen.
Yeah, that's the homie. Yeah, we
Yes.
Yeah,
appreciate that.
yeah.
He's doing a lot of work. He's actually we were talking to him yesterday, and his idea is I'm just like, we need to build some films around your knowledge.
Man,
So very deep, brother. When it comes to this, yeah, I
Yeah,
appreciate
Paul
it.
has a lot of lived experiences, right? We all have a lot of lived experiences,
hmm
and Paul's story is a really unique story. Actually, Paul's determination is what makes him unique, I think, more than anything else, right? Like he's determined to make the world a better place, and he is man. When I say vibe, he's effervescent in his energy. Says the woman slugging coffee at 7:30 up. Very large cup, head size cup.
Hey, you catch him at 5 in the morning. I'm sure he's doing the same thing. Don't worry about
man, man.
it. The Florida Project. We're highly excited to go check this out. It's a film that I've seen in the past too. Kind of a Sean Baker fan because
Yeah.
the film he made before that, which why is that name escaping me? What's the film he made before that? Tangerine.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
Tangerine. The man shot with an iPhone. So and it was the first thing I ever saw with an iPhone. He put an anamorphic lens on the iPhone and shot this movie, and it got critical acclaim.
Yep.
It
Mm.
was called Tangerine. It was about the trans community in a certain area, and it was huge. And I remember studying that film like, oh, I can do that with oh, okay, I need to get this lens, and I was excited about. To this day, I shoot with an iPhone probably because of that.
I
So
love it.
when I heard that he did the Florida Project was coming up next, it was they gave him some more money. He had a bigger film, bigger budget. He shot with that same kind of scrappy mentality with it, and told a really compelling story. And
Yeah.
it's one of those kinds of movies to me that's kind of like on the verge of almost a documentary. Like, is this some of this stuff
hmm
real? You know
hmm
what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
It's kind
and
of just looking at the trailer. That's kind of how the Florida Project felt. Similar
that's what I
to
mean. That's
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking about. Yeah, the
yeah,
Florida
yeah.
Project is one of these movies now, even though it was a higher budget, that still felt like it was raw. It's a
hmm
raw film.
I think we're getting, the Florida Project came out in 2017.
Hmm.
And, I think we're veering into, sort of with age, you get to look back a bit. In my opinion, we're sort of veering into what I think is almost a drive towards that more documentary style feel in films,
Mm.
especially from an emotional perspective,
Hmm.
hmm
definitely a little bit from a visual perspective. I feel like documentaries are getting glossier, narrative films are getting a little grittier, and
Mm.
I kind of love this crossover that's happening.
True.
I think it's kind of interesting. I've been thinking about that. A couple months ago, some of the team and I went to True False Festival, which is a documentary film festival down in Columbia, Missouri. And I saw a wonderful piece down there that blurred these lines really well. For the life of me, the name is escaping me. I'll remember it. But, it was this beautiful story of this brother and sister who are having this conversation, and the entire film is shot in a car. It's shot in one take. And it's two actors, and the director wrote a treatment for each character and said, okay, now we're going to film you. Ready, go. And so these actors are sort of really improving this really deep emotional conversation. It's this blurring of these lines of telling someone's story, but maybe choosing an actor to do it, but using a documentary style. It's really interesting. I really think that there's so much creative energy in filmmaking right now. It's really cool.
This conversation we had with Paul Weisapple yesterday had me talking about the filmmaking when it comes to narrative films as compared to documentary films, and how much more powerful sometimes it is to do a narrative film than even a documentary, especially when it comes to certain things.
Yeah.
Drug use and stuff like that. We've watched documentaries like The White Underbelly and all these things we see online that's the rawest of the raw. So how much more raw can you get with a documentary film? When you make it into a narrative film, it really kind of sometimes hits harder. To me, the Florida Project is one of those ones that does that. Miss Erica Felt in the chat is saying, having lived in a motel as a teen, and my mother later having family homeless shelters, the Florida Project is good, with capital GOOD. He says, I saw it a few years ago. I think a lot of people we've learned from Tamara Dwyer, who's the homeless director of the mayor's office, is a homeless coordinator. She is the one that has reminded us that homelessness is not just being out on the street holding the sign. It's also hopping from hotel to hotel, couch to couch, home to home. That hits home a lot more because we all know somebody who's been in those situations, if not ourselves. So I really I don't know if there could have been, I almost feel like sometimes if it's in documentary form, it's too real. It's too much. Sometimes it's too much for us to deal with. But seeing it in a dramatic narrative, to really that expresses the feelings of the people more so that are in these situations, and lingers on the things that need to linger on in order to really get the point across, sometimes is more powerful.
I think it's really interesting. I find myself drawn to documentaries. That I'm a consumer of information, of knowledge. I want to know, I want to hear an anecdotal story. And I think for a lot of us, we've been told that oh, well, that's just one person, or they're a bad apple, or they're the exception to the rule. And you can coat that in in a whatever type of gloss you want. Right. And I think that there's something to me, the thing about a documentary that I really love is that a good one, you have this opportunity to step in someone's life a little bit. And, I love a willing suspension of disbelief, but sometimes when I see narrative films, and to be fair, all my favorite movies are narrative movies, I walk away and I can shake that off really easy. So I think we all approach it from a really different perspective, and and I think it's important that we have both. And I think it's important that we have films like the one I was talking about. I did remember the name. It's called Tropical Park. It doesn't have widespread distribution yet, but it's a beautiful film. I think they all speak to us in different ways at different times and for different reasons, and we're lucky to have choices.
Yeah. Man, it's kind of interesting how this came up, because that was definitely topic of multiple conversations yesterday, as far as specifically narrative films telling real stories, and the impact that has in destigmatizing, which is kind of what's coming to my mind, as far
Absolutely.
as, and you really are hitting the nail on the head, as far as documentaries can kind of leave that, well, that's not me, you know what I mean, but narrative film, there's something there that emotional connection kind of allows the audience to see themselves in various ways that a documentary doesn't lend itself to, and definitely just the stigma that comes from. I'm thinking of a narrative film that impacted me very, very young. I Am Sam.
Right.
That was actually one of the first films I ever cried from, and I was only in the 4th grade. but the impact that has had on how I view people with mental health issues and just fighting that fight in life. So it can definitely go a long way of destigmatizing. But I will say also, documentaries do a good job at telling stories that have not been told, that we
Yes.
don't hear about, which I definitely wanted to talk about the other film that you have coming up, the Barbera
Oh,
organizer. Yes, yes,
yes,
yes, yes,
yes.
yes, yes. Let's talk about
Uh,
that.
okay, so the film is called TCB, Tony Cade Bombara School of Organizing, and I'm gonna cry. Um,
Every
Gotcha.
time.
so you've got this like foundational human being of like the Black women's liberation movement, and it really tells her story, which is like this really untold story.
Mhm.
So I also saw this movie when I was down at True False, and as soon as I watched it, I was sitting there watching it, and I was like, "This is a really good documentary. Like, it's cut really beautifully. The colors that they used are really good. The narrative story style is really great, right? Like, it just follows her life from a traditional timeline perspective, but like, um, to I watched it and I was like, I need my friend Elijah Makizia to see this movie. Like, as soon as I watched it, I felt like I needed her to see it.
Mm.
And so I got back and I was kind of got back from that. And I was kind of like, ooh, it doesn't have distribution yet. And I don't know if Elijah reached out to me or if I reached out to her. I can't remember. I was like, I think she actually reached out to us at Film Streams. And I was like, let's get coffee. I got a film I want to talk to you about. And so, it again, it tells the story of Tony K. Bombara, super influential writer. She's a professor, a filmmaker, documentarian, and an MC in the fact that she's like interviewing people and like creating these salons, I think is the right word, to use here, these special invite only kind of groups, but like the invite was pretty liberal. This extension of like creating these spaces for Black women to like exist and to like grow and to like put our things out there. Like there's interviews with Toni Morrison, who was her editor. I mean, like, this woman influenced a lot of other women and a lot of the way we think about Black liberation. And I think, so cool. She was so cool. Like, she started in the East Coast. She was in NYC for a while. Just a amazing human. And so we're working with Juneteenth Joy Fest, which is one of the programs for Joy Ambition. And we're super excited. So we're showing this on Tuesday, June 9th at 6:30 p.m. Elijah is going to be the moderator, and we've got a great set of panelists. I want to say Ashley Spivey and Nancy Williams will be part of that panel. And, come see this movie.
And Raquel Henderson.
And Raquel Henderson, thank you. Come see this movie because, like, nowhere else is going to show it, right? Like, we went and got this film because we thought it was so impactful.
You still leaving something out so you can stop yourself from crying. Give me the rest of it.
Well, I don't not it. It was just beautiful to see this brilliant Black woman who created all this space for all these other women to like get together and like uplift, right?
Right.
Why do you do this to me, Paul?
Because you're the best. I was very excited when I saw this too, especially the fact that it's going to be a real talk film as well, and the people on the panel, Ashley Spivey, Raquel Henderson, Nancy Williams, are all three women in my life that I look up to and inspired by. And I mean, that's a powerhouse panel you got there. And then the fact that Lala is going to be doing the Joy Fest collaboration and being a part of this, awesome, awesome situation. And when I looked up her name, I remembered from years ago I had read something from Tony Cade Bombara, and it was one of those ones that was like, I'm gonna look into her later, and they just didn't never get around to it.
And that's the thing about her is like it feels like she did all of this grassroots stuff, right? Like there's a story about how she moved down south at one point, and she used to have these like Sunday salons, right? Like she was doing these all over the place, but she would tell people all the time, like, just come by the house if you need some help. Come by on Sunday from 12 to 4 when we do this. And the friend of hers who's telling the story said that they were on the street, walking down the street one day, and some guy was like, "Hey, you're that writer." And she was like, "Yeah." And he was like, "I need help writing my mortgage application." And she was like, "Come by the house." And he helped her, and she helped him like fill out his mortgage application, right? And like, that's not the type of writing she meant, but like, like this is what that's what it is, right?
Yeah. Let me tell you something. Just personally speaking, last night we had a really great meeting at Udalali with some First Guy Omaha fam, and when I was looking around the room, Tamara Dwyer was there, homeless coordinator from the mayor's office. Diane Good, who was a behind 180 rap program, reentry program, Udalali, all of that. Amy Ryan, who did Piece of Shot Collective for years, and then built the Benson Theater, and I helped her do that. So I know the mission behind that was to help people. Leah, who is running the Documenters program and is heavily involved in environmental justice and things. And I was sitting there going, I'm around a group of women who have the biggest hearts. They're the kinds of women that would be like, come over and we'll just give you some help. Come over to the house. And it's rare. And it was a moment of me going, I'll find myself surrounded by these people that have that kind of heart and vision. And it reminds me to keep on having that kind of heart and vision. I'm fully inspired. And your panel, Ashley Spivey, Raquel Henderson, Nancy Williams, are also three other women, like I said, we look up to and have that kind of spirit of just come over. We'll just help each other. Let's just help. Let's just take care of each other.
These are the types of women who get overlooked and build the country every day.
Mm-hmm.
Women like Toni Kate Bombard, like I think in the next, 10 or 20 years, we'll be getting flowers as we look further back into the start of like Black feminine, female liberation movements. Right. It's hard to see the forest for the trees. We're very close to that time period still. It's like Jazz on a Summer's Day, right? Like it feels like we're so far away from this time period. And yet it was just yesterday.
Right.
Like in Omaha, women couldn't wear, in Omaha public schools, girls couldn't wear pants in school until the mid 70s, right? Like Omaha didn't desegregate because of busing until the early 80s. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like there are all these things that like we just kind of gloss over because it's easy to gloss over. But when we take a look at like when things were actually happening, it was not that long ago.
Nope.
Yeah. Nope. So I think, as we move forward through time, we'll start to be able to carve out more space for these people who deserve to be uplifted in a much louder, broader sense.
Yeah. And I can definitely see documentary films and film streams kind of being at the center of that as well.
8:13 right now, if you believe in the concept of time, that is. We're here with Amanda Kephart, one of my favorite people in Omaha, Nebraska, and she is with Film Streams, and we've been talking about a couple of films that's very important. Before you go though, there's a few other things that you guys got going on that I'm sure that you want to tell us about.
Yes.
We'll get to that. Yep.
Yeah. So wait, do you want me to go? You tell me.
Sorry. You got it. Go ahead.
Now I've had too much coffee. So we've got our Queer Asia series, which is running June 5th to the 11th down here at the Ruth Sokolov Theater. And that series has actually been curated by Marcus Gennady, who is our Whites Fellow. This is his final project. He's wrapping up with us for this year ahead of getting our next Whites Fellow, who will start with us in August. And so this series is 3 films, The Handmaiden, Joyland, and Viet and Nam. And the films are all fairly recent, 2016, 2022, 2024. And they really are all focused on telling queer Asian stories. And they're beautiful films that are, thoughtful and just beautiful. Yeah, they're just beautiful films. Like, come and check those out. Come and see those. We also have a Real Talk. We're showing Paris is Burning as part of our Weekend Essentials. The first weekend in June. So on June 6th at 11 a.m., we have a Real Talk for Paris is Burning with Per Stilton as our moderator. Nevaeh will be a panelist. They're from Strixer Ballroom and Runway, Alana Viviana. the Experience Ball, and Dwayne Hayes from Nightshades Ball, which is awesome. And as a note to all of our friends who come down to our Roots Talk Law Theater, we will be closed during the College World Series, just because there's no parking.
Yeah, true that. But you got Dundee, so we can always head over there.
Yes, come see us at Dundee. We will be running all sorts of films over there, as we always do. And lest I forget, we're showing Louder Than a Bomb. And we are working with Nebraska Writers Collective to show that film. So 15 years ago, we showed Louder Than a Bomb, and that is sort of, I think, was in collaboration with Zadika Poindexter, Nebraska Writers Collective, kicking off what has become just this amazing statewide, nationally recognized training ground, elevation point, spotlight on Nebraska writers, and what a great organization. So that's on Tuesday, the 30th of June at 6:30. So come and see that, and there'll be a panel discussion for that as well.
I love that. I'm so glad they made a film about that. First of all, we've been fans of Louder Than a Bomb for a while. Shout out to Zadika Poindexter. We had Zadika on a few months back, so if you missed that interview, go back and check it out on YouTube. But she talked a lot about the awards that were coming up for the student laureate, poet laureate, and a shout out to the library who hosted that gathering. We got some strong youth poetry, and this Louder Than the Bomb seemed to be like the seeds of all that.
Man, do we ever. We have great poets coming out of Nebraska. Everyone should support in any way they can. Don't be scared by poetry. There are so many different forms of it. Something will click for you. Yeah.
That's what's up. I love that. Shout out to, I'm thinking of people like Light Pole's been artist that's come out of there. Johnny No Good, artist that's been involved with youth poetry in the past. There's some serious MCs these days, and
Giovanni X,
yeah, man. Yeah, so we know some success stories about people who've been part of those things and came into their own later. So that's what's up. RG is saying he prefers the vibe of the roof. I heard that. I feel you on that. But I don't enjoy the vibe of trying to look for parking during College World Series.
Right.
I can understand why you guys are closing down for sure.
It's just I think it's 2 weeks to the day, and I think we've got some information on our website too. So you could still come down here and stand outside if you wanted to. Look at the CWS people walk by.
Right.
That would be an interesting documentary.
It would.
Yeah, it would be. Sure would
but
be.
while you're telling people to go, I definitely would urge actually people to check out FilmStream's website. Man, there's actually a lot of films that I'm looking at beyond just some of the lesser known films. I see you have Holes, Disclosure Day, Backrooms coming. So yeah, there's
Oh
some.
my God.
yeah, bro. Yeah.
Backrooms.
So right now we're showing Obsession, which is people are loving this film. I have not seen it because I don't do horror. So for me, that's the bridge too far. But we're showing Holes, late 90s classic, and we're actually showing that on 35 millimeter. So that's pretty cool. Yes. So that's cool. We've got just so many awesome things happening right now. This weekend and next weekend, How to Train Your Dragon. We're showing Joyland. I already mentioned Joyland. We just have we constantly are working really hard to bring everyone cool stuff.
Yeah,
man.
One more thing I wanted to mention about film streams as well. When I went to go see, I forgot the last thing I went to go see there. I actually came early. I think it was Boosters. Yeah, I came early and had lunch at Lola's. Yeah. And I'd forgotten about sitting there having some lunch, getting ready for the film, and just everybody who shows up there. And then I was standing in line getting condiments, and I looked over and I was like, Spike. I was like, what do they got in the movie section over here? So there's books and films and T-shirts and all kinds of stuff to buy in those areas. And I was like, I'm coming back for that Spike book, whatever that is. Just thinking back when Spike Lee came to town, and
Yeah.
again,
Mm.
don't forget film streams and them. You guys were behind Spike Lee coming to town.
We were. That is, in fact, a true story.
We did that. We did that. Yeah.
Y'all
We
did
did that.
You did that,
Uh,
and we all know you and fell in love with you when you were up there dealing with his mess on stage. Because Spike gave you the New York treatment for real.
he
Uh,
did, but he was
but
also very, very sweet when we were on stage. You know, he leaned over a couple of times and said, whispered sweet nothings into my ear. You know, he was a delightful person to spend time with. But
yeah.
he definitely brought New York, all of New York, with him and all of his
all
comments.
all of
Oh
it.
yeah. Oh
And
yeah.
you handled it well. Everybody always says that she handled it so well. You really did. Well, we appreciate you. We're gonna let you go ahead and get out of here. We're coming up on 8:20 right now. If you believe in the concept of time, before you go, anything outside of film, anything in life, anything you loving the weather, you getting out to the parks, you putting the feet in the grass. What else is going on in your life besides film right now?
Not enough lately. I will say I definitely got to be more mindful about being outside. But no, I've just kind of watching a little bit of trash TV,
Okay.
thinking a lot about AI. I love that, first of all, you all were talking about that. And sort of when you were talking about it, you know, history is my jam. I was thinking about all the times that historically we've had some important voice say, this is the downfall of humanity, right? And it goes back to Socrates, who was saying
Mm.
that when people start writing things down, we will lose all memory. We will lose the ability to speak to each other. We will, like, all these other things, right?
Mm.
And I'm I just think it's fascinating. You know, it's printing press, right?
Hmm.
Gutenberg's printing press. Like, the church was like, this is going to be the downfall of humanity. Like, or is it the democratization of humanity? I don't know. I think the thing that about AI that's really interesting, and I also wrote that kid's name down, Bo Thomas. I'm super excited to figure out how to get.
Disconnected. Disconnected is the
Yeah,
film.
from Auburn High School, Auburn, Nebraska, right?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Yeah. You know, I think we are. Okay, I always feel like I'm telling you all something that I shouldn't be saying. Might as well keep up the tradition. So we are working with a couple of partners on our way towards an AI series that is going to happen, I think, early fall this year. So we're talking with a couple of different organizations, and we're finalizing those films that we'll be showing. And so those will also have panel discussions with them. And TV rots your brains. And so yeah, we're working towards that. Like, we definitely try to stay, you know, well aware of what's going on in the zeitgeist as well. You know, AI takes a lot of energy, my friends.
It does, and I don't know if you've been following what we've been talking about this last week about it, but these data centers are here to surveil us more than it's the problem of AI being used here. This is the film right here. The studio, well, they didn't put a title on this film, but this is what Buddy was talking about here. You can go to Channel 6. Shout out to WOWT for showcasing this one and check it out. Student made film shows AI struggles. To your point about this happens in history all the time, where somebody says this is the downfall. To Erica Phelps' point, I do feel like this is a little bit different this time with AI, because it is really taking over thinking ability
What I
in a way more than anything else is.
I think what's really interesting is, I remember being a kid, right, and was fortunate enough to, like, turn around and go back to the back bookshelf on the wall and pull out the encyclopedia.
Right.
And we had to, like, work actively to find the information we wanted or needed. And we knew that it was at least from a trusted source, because we knew that Britannica or whoever was making these, right, had put effort into it. It's not unlike, we used to let the Smithsonian go on all sorts of dig sites all over the world, or the Field Museum in Chicago. As a matter of fact, the Field Museum in Chicago used to, like, employ hundreds of archaeologists who they just send out all over the world and be like, go get some stuff. So, you know, there is something to be said about the democratization of information. It's incredibly important. But when it becomes a systemic democratization of information, that's when you have to be very wary about it. And, you know, I like guardrails. I like it when we know where things are coming from. We understand where the money is coming from that's needed to build not just these data centers, but the energy infrastructure that is needed to run them. And that's the thing that's I find really interesting, is that I would love somebody to do a documentary about this. Maybe Paul and Buddy, maybe on some iPhones.
Maybe.
The amount of energy that's required to run each data center, and not only exorbitantly increases depending on the location of the data center, but then how do we power that? We don't have that. We don't have the power system. We don't have the energy grid currently. So does that mean burning more coal? Does that mean putting up solar panels? Does that mean wind farms? So how are we facilitating this thing? If we want to use this tool ethically, how do we create space for that? And how do we train it to not listen to everything that's terrible on the internet?
Yeah.
Lots of questions behind it for sure. Maybe Michael Moore is on it right now or somebody. We'll see.
There was a woman whose name is Timnit Gebru, who was over at Google. She was in charge of their AI department about 15 years ago. She's one of the first people to call attention to the fact that, like, as they were training AI early stages, we were coming across some really racist representations in different ways. She left Google, moved back to the UK, and started a nonprofit organization. And a couple of years ago, I was trying to figure out, can we figure out how to bring this brilliant mind to Omaha and have this conversation? She was very expensive to fly over, so we didn't. We ended up going with a couple of other wonderful speakers instead. But this conversation has been happening for much longer than it's been in the public view.
True.
So yeah, it's fascinating. I don't think it's going anywhere. So where are our guardrails? How do we protect ourselves? How do we protect our children, our family members from, becoming part of the system instead of, living with the system, right?
Right.
Yeah.
That's why I'm paying attention to what Miss Erica Felder's talking about. She's the one that's got the pulse on the kids. I'm thinking about the babies because they're coming up in a world where they don't have any other point of reference. They don't have that Encyclopedia Britannica in the back. They're coming up in this realm where AI is doing the thinking for them on most things, and that is a little scary.
Yeah. So maybe next month when I come on, I'll have some more information to share about our AI series.
Maybe look into that short film. One last question before you get out of here. I am kind of appreciating Michael watching the chat asking, are there any filmmaking classes in North Omaha?
Yeah, that's a great question. I know a few years ago, MCC had some things available. We're actually sort of starting some conversations with MCC right now. We're going to do a series later this fall also called Science on Screen. We've been doing that for a few years, where we show science films, narrative and documentary style, and have panel discussions about that. And so we're figuring out the details around that right now. And as part of that, conversation, we're always interested in finding out who's working around film in all of its different, spiderweb aspects. So, from script writing to, set design, all of these different things, not just cinematography and having the idea, but there's so many different ways that someone can be involved in filmmaking, set design, production design, sound design, that are really, really important. And I think it's going to be super interesting to see, especially with, like I said, this sort of real infusion of Omaha film festivals, what's coming down the pipeline with our community around that. Can we carve out more space to tell more stories? Yeah, we have the ability to do that. We need the funding, the backing to support that. I think that is really important. Speaking of, this is not on, and I'm sorry, now I'm running over, but we are also showing the Odyssey.
Oh, really?
Yes, we are.
Wow.
And we're one of a handfuls of theaters in the country that is going to be showing it on 35 millimeter.
Wow. Okay.
Yes. So we've got reel reels that will be running for the showing of the Odyssey. And I saw a preview of it in our Ruth Sokoloff Theater, and I was literally blown out of the water, just like how amazing it looked, how the sound sounded. Just very cool. Very, very cool. Also, I should probably not say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. June 4th, which is next
My
Thursday.
birthday.
Is it?
Yeah.
Happy early birthday. June 4th, we got word that Universal Studios, distributor for the Odyssey, is going, well, I really shouldn't probably be saying this, is going to be doing a ball cap giveaway. So look for our socials to share more information about that. But if you come down and buy a ticket that evening, if you're one of the first 100 people to physically buy a ticket on site for the Odyssey, you will get a ball cap.
Okay.
You will get an Odyssey ball cap. I probably really shouldn't have said that, but
It's too late now.
Yeah, come through.
it's less than a week away. Like, we got to tell people about it. Like,
Yeah, come on,
so
come by.
yeah,
Let me tell you how much I appreciate that Film Streams has 35 millimeter projectors.
Yeah.
Number one, how many film houses even have that anymore? It's all digital. So that you got the really reals
Mhm.
going
For real.
on.
it's
For real.
this is a dying art, right? And these most of our team are union members, are head projectionists, lead projectionists. You know, this is IATI crew, right? They're the same people who do all the setup for your concerts. But IATI is a very wide reaching union. They cover a lot of things. I wish I could think of what the acronym stands for, but there are very few projectionists in the world.
Right.
And I feel like there's a conversation always sort of bubbling under the surface about how are we going to train projectionists, the next generation of projectionists. Because if we don't, then we really do lose sort of this is a dying art, like this particular portion of film showing. And one of our projectionists was sort of explaining to me what the process is. And I was like, that sounds incredibly scary and dangerous, you know? And so it's no joke. Like it is a very challenging thing. These old reel machines are, like nobody's making them anymore. Like, so maintenance upkeep is really important. And we are currently working with 2 members of our staff to like work with them to get them towards like full projection.
Nice.
They're young, brilliant humans who are doing a wonderful job. So our whole projecting team is amazing, and big flowers to them.
Yeah, man.
Film Streams is more than just going and seeing some movies and hearing some talk.
Yeah.
You're helping. If you become a member, then you're helping to further an industry. One of those kind of professional kind of dying industries, the same as like film cameras and everything else that's out there that you're preserving. So it's a bigger mission even than just showing the films. That's what's up.
Yeah.
I'm thinking also the music industry and reel to reel and like that analog religion that's dying. Hey, keep it alive.
Keep it alive.
I don't know if either of you have seen the history of hip hop on Netflix. It's oh my God. I don't know how I missed that when it came out, but like that was so cool to watch just from a technology perspective, to like see like what blew me out of the water, right? Blew me out of the water. And if you haven't, if our viewers today haven't seen it, you should definitely go check it out because it's fascinating, it's interesting, it's funny, it's sad, and like just to watch the progression of hip hop as an art form is so interesting, so cool. It was so cool.
Yes.
Definitely check it out. We can be talking about movies all day. We might have to have a whole separate show, just a movie review show, and talk about film and art and music. Metropolitan Community College has. I actually got an associate's degree in audio visual communications there, and we did a whole bunch of things. There was a lot of filmmaking situations there. North Omaha, not so much. They sent you get sent out to Elkhorn for those classes. But they also have a Metropolitan Community College Cinema and Media Society. Shout out to Bob Moss, who's out there, who will let you take any camera out and do what you do. Also, Metropolitan Community College has one of the biggest departments for film camera, still film camera in large format and stuff like that than even the bigger colleges have. So they're about the arts in a big way. And even though we went out there for classes, we shot film in North Omaha. And we were able to do stuff on the North Omaha campus too. So there is some training out there. There is some people that I worked with at Metro that are making films and putting them in film festivals like Omaha Film Festival, Benson Film Festival. You guys used to have Film Streams used to have a thing every year where they did independent film. You guys still do the independent film festival every year?
That's interesting. We haven't done that in a couple of years, but there is definitely a conversation rumbling underneath the surface about looking for ways to bring that back because
We would love for you guys to bring that back. That was a huge part of the filmmaking community for us back in the day.
yeah.
And we know why it went away. So I'm glad you guys are talking about bringing it back. I
I
appreciate
mean, local art is so important. You
Mhm.
don't get to be, you don't get to put yourself on the map if you're not supporting local art and local artists, and like that's huge, right? That's why cities like Chicago have these homegrown artists. Richard Hunt is a great example. He's a sculptor. He passed away a couple years ago. I had the opportunity to meet him. He's a black man who grew up in Chicago and has more public art installations than anybody else in the entire world, right?
Wow.
Mm. Mm.
And has gone with minimum recognition, but his pieces are everywhere in every major city, and his pieces are amazing, right? So we support that. Like we've got like June Kaneko, who's amazing. We've got like all these artists who like have this world imprint, and so like how do we continue to grow our local artists in a way where they can still stay in Omaha? So they can make film in Omaha, they can make sculpture, they can make, paintings, they can dance, they can make music. How do we create this better ecosystem in support of our artists? That's a big part of what I love to do.
We've been talking about this for weeks. Christian, are you watching? You heard what she just said? We're highly behind all of that. We definitely think that there's I've lived all around the world. Omaha is one of the places that has the most talented people I've ever been around in art and music and film, it's just like the lack of community recognition in industry that is missing here. But the talent is
Man,
here in a big
man.
way.
Huge way. I mean, there's so many artists who have acclaim outside of Omaha, and like
Right?
in Omaha, people are like, oh, I didn't know.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey, that's
maybe what
great.
now? Yeah. So
Well, we're helping to change that, and you guys are doing a great job with that mission as well over at Film Streams. Thank you so much for joining us and visiting. Love it when you come by. Love
Yes.
talking about what you guys are doing over there, and I'm so excited myself just to get back over and going to see films over there regularly, having lunch at Lola's, and looking at box sets that I can't afford yet. I'm saving up for. So
Yeah.
it's
Don't
going
be
down.
surprised if you see us Monday.
Yeah, yeah.
I will be looking for you. And it's always wonderful to see both of you, buddy. It's great to see you, Paul. Great to see you.
Likewise.
Good to see you too. See you soon. Take care. All right.
All
Always a
right.
pleasure. Always a pleasure to talk to her. Yeah, man. Film Streams community definitely something that I'm seriously like. If it wouldn't, they're one of the ones that I'm just like. That's if you're in Omaha, you got to be part of that scene. You got to be part of that scene. I think of the same way as I think of Culture House, Omaha Film Festival. I think about the Film Streams Art House theater scene. There's some scenes here that when I bring in family from out of town, there's a couple things we got to go to, a couple places we got to
Hmm.
hit. Time Out Chicken, go to Film Streams, that
Man,
type of thing. Some things that you want to bring folks in from out of town to see, and I'm glad that we're partnered. I'm glad we're hooked up for real.
big
Thanks for
time.
everybody who was in the chat. We didn't get to a lot of your questions and stuff like that, but I really appreciate that. I like that TV Rush. Your brain cracks me up. Also, I wanted to give Miss Erica Felt some attention here too. She said I went to school in 1976 and there was busing. She was talking about in Portland. So my mother voluntarily bused me the opposite direction since only black children were forced to bus. She drove me to an all black school.
Man.
Yeah, she was thinking ahead for sure.
Hmm.
Then she clarified busing she spoke about was in Portland, but of course we know that happened here in a big way in Omaha as well, and other communities all around. I took buses. I was on a bus to other side of town too when in junior high and stuff like that. So it definitely happens all over. RG in the chat says this would be a great opportunity to push commuting on the bus to see movies at the Ruth during CWS. True, been a good one, but they're not going to be showing nothing, so we got to go to Dundee. It's all good. Miss Eric Fell says, I love the escapism of a good movie. I heard that. This is the RG's legendary TV Rosh Your Brain comment. Also, Miss Eric Fell says, I feel they're not equivalent in any manner when you add in the enrollment aspects. What are we talking about? What are we linking that to? We'll have to come back to that comment. Pops in the chat says, and Socrates was right. I can't even remember my telephone number, or that it's not even called the telephone number anymore. Right. Also, Tony Johnson says, think of the energy people spend online arguing. That's interesting you say that. And fighting with somebody that does that even exist, does not even exist, takes up energy from all aspects. Maybe talking about bots and things like that are on online, or people who have multiple accounts that are that are just kind of arguing, being online and just kind of trolling is what they call it. Yeah, interesting. Also, Ms. Erica Fell says there are now utility companies utilizing eminent domain to take homes for data space. OPPD recently held hearings about them using unlimited eminent domain, but nobody wanted to go.
We actually maybe diving into some of that energy stuff here in the last couple minutes.
We'll have to. Ms. Erica Fell says they do not need to learn critical thinking, which already isn't formally taught until college in the U.S., but it's continuous from kindergarten in Norway. Talking about the effects of AI right now. So critical thinking is on the line right now because we got bots that can do it for us. Interesting. Cannon Coltrane in the chat. Good morning. Says MCC has one coming up in August, talking about a film program.
Okay. Yeah, he says videography and storytelling mastery, July 11th through August 8th, $99. Pick up a copy of Metro's Community College Cinema. And that was you.
Oh, that was me. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, appreciate that information. We'll definitely we'll look into that. I'm glad to see that what they're doing for sure. I see Rosalind Boykins in the chat. What's up, cousin? Says International Alliance of Theater Stage Employees. Okay.
Yahtzee. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Thank you for looking that up. Thank you. Michael Watson in the chat. Other area like music, photography, cooking, spoken word, everything you previously mentioned. Missed that first part. Oh, here we go. Rally in NAACP Omaha to revive the ACTSO program. I guess AXO. Yeah, there you go. Geared towards young people to compete on national level. One area is filmmaking. I do like competitions that allow you to compete in arts on a national level. It really kind of gets the name out. He says that's when he says other areas like music, photography, cooking, spoken word, everything you previously mentioned. Also, remember Houston Alexander competing in it as a teenager. He might be a good ambassador for Omaha. Okay. Appreciate that info. Have to look into AXO for sure. Yeah. I like that. Miss Erica Fell says, I think she is one of my favorite people in Omaha, and I don't even know her. Talking about the man. She's awesome. Super awesome. Pop says, every time she's on the show, I find myself unconsciously smiling the whole time. Yeah, Pops. I'm telling you, man. She's like that in person, man. We have some great conversations, some deep conversations. Definitely a person after my own heart. Is loves sitting watching some films and contemplating things for sure. Miss Erica Fell says she had to get her ex-father-in-law to buy her car a VW Bug. Since the city bus would have took too long. I found the receipt in her thing. Talking about your mom.
Mm-hmm.
Your mom was a visionary. Beautiful pictures that she posted of her lately too. I was like, wow, these old film reels were something else. Photography was just different back then, man. I feel like it just captures something different.
Analog religion, man. There's some real energy and some real things that stick to that film. You know what I mean? That magnetic strip picking up some of this electromagnetic energy we putting out. Vibrations,
real vibrations.
Yeah,
real
man.
Vibrations. Don't trip. You see me outside with the film camera again. It's coming back.
Hey, make it happen.
We'll take a quick break and come back and finish out the rest of the show. We appreciate you sticking with us. Thank you for all your comments. Thank you for the respect for the guests, love for the guests. I appreciate that very much. First Sky Omaha in the morning. I'm Paul B. He's Buddy to God. Stay tuned. We'll be right back, y'all. Welcome back. First Sky Omaha in the morning.
In the morning.
All be buddy to God. It is
Hey.
a Love Supreme Friday. It's supposed to be kind of rainy today. It's only going to get up to about
Yeah.
77. It's kind of rainy if you're in Omaha, Nebraska. That is. It's 8:45 right now if you believe in the concept of time and you're in Omaha, Nebraska. And we got about 15 minutes left in the show. We want to definitely wrap some things up. So I really appreciate everybody who has joined us today. Miss Erica Phelps, it's been a pleasure. I'm glad you were able to come through and be part of the chat, even though you got the babies running around and all that. So yeah, I appreciate that very much. And I appreciate all of you, everybody else who's got some great suggestions, some things to look into. I tend to see that we have a lot more engagement sometimes when it comes to some of the things that we are trying to fight all during the week. So I definitely hope to promote that we do a Love Supreme Friday. We really want to try to bring some guests on that embody that, and give us a. We set the intention for Monday for what we're gonna do for the week. Let's set the intention for Friday for the live alive with one another stuff we're gonna do for the weekend, and appreciate everything that we got going on as far as the arts is concerned, and all the things that we fight for all during the week. Let's celebrate. Celebrate on Friday, celebrate over the weekend, to rejuvenate ourselves and get back into the fight on Monday. That's kind of how I look at it. I'm an independent worker, so I make my own schedule, but I'm still a little bit of a blue collar, still a little bit of a 9-to-5er and a weekend warrior. So I'm gonna fight all week long, and then we're gonna have some fun on the weekend, and that's just how it's just embedded in me how I do it. So. If that's not how you do it, let me know. I'm open for different ways, new ways too. Maybe we need to incorporate some Love Supreme all through the week. Who knows how you guys survive and do it? But let us know. We'd love to hear it from you in the chat, and then friends of First Sky Omaha as well. Appreciate that. I see Black Dynamite in the chat giving us a good morning. What's happening? I see you guys talking to each other in the chat. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. I'm glad the community is being built there in a big way. Yeah, appreciate it. Let's go ahead and wrap the show up, buddy. I know you got some things you wanted to get out before we got out of here. What's new? What's next?
Yeah, really kind of building on some points made earlier in today, and setting up for Monday's episode as we kind of wrap up with one of our last, if not the last, actually. Yeah, Senator Cypher. So yeah, looking forward to speaking to Senators Ashley Spivey and Terrell McKinney, and definitely anticipating a fight that we're all going to have to pay attention to next session with these data centers and these AI, and of course the legislature is going to have to decide how we're going to regulate, especially with some of the things Sister Erica Feld was talking about with the eminent domain, and also with Sister Amanda Kephart talked about earlier as far as the power situation. How are we going to power these data centers that are being planned out? Which is kind of what I wanted to talk about as we wrap up today. A few things, as I mentioned at the top of the show, there is one good news aspect of this as far as the expansion of clean energy in Nebraska. This is being reported by Omaha World Herald. The Omaha Public Power District just announced earlier this week on Wednesday that it has signed agreements involving 2 renewable energy projects, one of which is actually expected to begin as early as 2029. This is in partnership with Sand Hills Energy, which is a Nebraska-based energy company, who will be completing a new 250 megawatt facility east of Tacoma in Burt County. The arrangement will cover the entire capacity of the Burke County Solar, which is expected to be in service in 2029. So again, this is the creation of a huge solar farm. The agreement, OPPD official says, marks another milestone in the utility's effort to expand and diversify its energy portfolio to meet rapidly increasing electrical demand, which is kind of where my ears and eyes perk up as far as this anticipated growth that they're talking about. Again, we're talking about data centers. Where is this growth really going to come from? And just give an idea of how much growth they're expecting. They say OPPD, according to the article, anticipates low growth. Again, how much is needed on the energy system, the grid, of about 100 megawatts a year for the foreseeable future. Again, to kind of draw a comparison, that's the equivalent of about 65 metro area high schools or mid-sized hotels every year. So again, imagine 65, Clarkson hotels being, or hospitals being built every year. That's how much power growth they're expecting. Saying this is Javier Fernandez, OPPD's president and CEO, in a statement saying we're working hard to ensure our customers have the electricity they need when they need it. And again, I am kind of curious as far as what can customers are they talking about? Is it homeowners, individual homeowners and property owners, or is it these mega data centers that are expected to come? One project that kind of tips me off to make me feel like it is the latter is OPPD's recent project, which is another solar project, but it is in partnership with Google to share generation from a 420 megawatt solar project that's in Pierce County, which is just northwest of Norfolk, Nebraska. So while there are some clean energy aspects brewing up to you know help with this growth in power that they're expecting, of course you got to ask and examine and really think about how much this is preparing and clearing the path for data centers. And again, it's not just the solar farms, but all of the power conversations that are happening in Nebraska. Looks like even nuclear is starting to chime up as well. This reported by Flatwater Free Press last week. The Nebraska Public Power District included a Gage County city on a list of 4 sites for a potential new nuclear plant. Some of those areas include Norfolk, Nebraska, Sutherland, Nebraska, Beatrice, Nebraska, and Brownville, Nebraska. All 4 communities are open to a nuclear project. But again, what does nuclear power mean just for the environment? What does it mean for our bottom line? This is something that I'm honestly not too familiar with, but we'll definitely be diving into and learning more about as we gear up for, again, this next session. And we already talked about with Chris Baby Boy Bowling on Wednesday, some of the reporting that Flatwater is doing on western Nebraska counties and cities that are already fighting and chiming up against the data centers. And we're expecting that fight to definitely pick up as we get closer to the next session. So definitely looking forward to that. We'll, maybe get into that with our senators on Monday. But in the meantime, between time, Paul, chat, what say you?
Yeah, I just top of mind to me is when we talk about all these data centers, the narrative is switched for me for data centers that is going to allow us to use AI for everything, to what's really being used for, which is surveillance and to capture information on us on a constant, regular basis in this 1984 world that we're in right now in a big way. Man. So that's that. Not only is it zapping all the energy and tapping all the water and raising, we're paying for it in our higher electric bills, but what we're paying for is for the state to surveil us. And so the fight to push data centers out has changed narrative for me. It's made there's a different reason now to be kind of fighting what's going on with some of these things too. And we do have a nuclear plant in close to Nebraska. I believe it's in Nebraska, and it was shut down for a while because of something that happened, and it fired back up, and we kind of lost track of the information on that. So to hear that, I wonder what they're going to do with that one. And then they're talking about building new ones. We'll see. A lot of people are for it, saying that it's a cleaner energy, more powerful. It'll keep electric bills lower and so on and so forth. But again, we're producing all this power in order for these massive data centers to be here. We're using up a lot of land for these solar panels as well. And there's a lot that's going into this because the data centers need so much power. We've already reported on data centers that use more power than the city, 2 times, 3 times more power than anybody in the city next to it is using. And it's all for these data centers that are powering the AI that's surveilling us.
Man, I just had a thought. I just find it very interesting. You're on. Yeah, I find it very interesting that at the same time, these conversations of nuclear power are popping up in states across the nation. The U.S. is in the Middle East trying to invade and attack Iran, who says we're not building nuclear bombs. Yes, we have a nuclear program that, helps us power our country. And here we are, America, trying to go into Iran to steal their uranium at the same time that these nuclear power conversations are popping up. I just find it, interesting, to say the least.
And then let's not forget the thing that we talked about last show, which is the space race with all this.
Man.
This is about as well, because they're trying to build data centers in space and energy gatherers in space, that they're trying to find the technology to shoot back to the Earth. It sounds way out, but it's not as way out as you think, because IPs are happening. Billions and trillions of dollars are being invested in this. People think this is the future for real. And again, we can harp on, okay, well, might be more efficient, or that might be a better use of technology, or that might save our electric bill. But again, what do the data centers need the energy for? What do the data centers need to exist for? Is the question in the first place. So, that changes it up for me in a big way. I appreciate everybody that's jumping in on this. I see Michael Watts said, Nebraska bring debt in towns looking for more tax revenue could compromise a lot. I think he said a lot of people to all data centers. I can see underfunded school districts making strong push. Okay, yeah, just flesh that out there a little bit more, because I'm not really understanding your comment there. Also, Ms. Erica Fell says, if entire communities refuse to use AI, then others will pay attention and refuse as well. The price isn't worth the benefit. If everybody stopped using AI, they're still building these data centers.
Yeah, I
It's
mean,
really not about the AI, our use of AI. It's about the government's use of AI, wartime use of AI, and state surveillance. So again, it's one of those things. Ms. Erica Fell, you from California too. We heard it all before. They told us to quit leaving the water running when we're brushing our teeth, because we got a water crisis. Like, individual house is going to stop what Nestle is doing on a industrial scale.
Yeah,
If we can all stop using AI right now, they're still going to build these data centers.
it's the flock cameras, and it's the what was the Starlink, and these are the behemoths that are taking up. I just heard a report talking about how Microsoft and Google are actually reversing their use of AI, because they are the ones that are really spending the most money on AI and really using up the AI coins, or what you need tokens. Thank you. Like, yeah, it's very interesting to see how this is shifting. The conversation is shifting right now, and we'll continue to pay attention to it and bring it to you as a point of conversation.
Totally. We're almost out of here. Michael Watts is saying this again. He said, I can see cities in Nebraska dealing with debt and underfunded schools seeing data center as revenue creator. Okay, that makes sense.
Okay.
Yeah, I can definitely see that as well. Yeah, I hear that. Mr. Rockefeller says, we can't stop them, but we can cause fewer to be made. Yeah, maybe. Again, there's data centers already here. I think there's supposed to be 5. There's 2 here already. 3 more coming. And what people don't get to is we've been dealing with AI since 2000s. If you call up somewhere and you get an automated thing on the phone, or every business that you call that's automated, we've been dealing with AI bots for a lot longer than we think. It's more in our zeitgeist and awareness now, because we're able to use them ourselves. They've turned it commercial, to where we're able to do the same thing that companies have been doing for a while. But all companies have been running on AI for a minute.
Man, telehealth industry booming and growing over the last couple of decades. Yeah, you're right.
So, yeah, I love it. We'll continue to talk about this as we go. This is definitely one of the fights, like you're saying, buddy, for sure. Yeah. Getting close to getting out of here. Anything else you wanted to wrap up before we go, or what you thinking?
No, I think that's pretty much it, man. We can wrap up with that. As far as what we can do, man, enjoy some art.
Yeah.
Check out some art. One thing that's really sticking out to me from today's conversation, man, kind of the common thread going back to what we, talked about Udalale and Ebor and Lincoln, and the real, that human connection. You know what I mean? Like, seeing each other and meeting each other on that human level. Even the AI aspect of it all is trying to go against that, but really, really seeing each other and valuing each other on that human level can change things, man. So try to find the humanity in each other, and build from that.
Bro, I'm so glad you said that. It's been a pleasure when you were in town and we were able to drive around and meet some of these folks that we've been talking to online, face to face, and they see us face to face. It's just a different vibe. It's a different vibe. So I appreciate you're taking the trip out here, taking the time, make the rounds. We had such a great meeting last night. Udalale is a trip, because AI messed up our reservation. and the young hostess had a hard time trying to reconcile that. But one of the managers came out, human, face to face. Hey, we'll take care of you, make it right. So every day we deal with like AI messing with us, and then the human connection fixing it, and then we got to sit down and have some human connection with the team and everybody that came last night, which I really really appreciate. Again, I got calls afterwards, people in tears, just like, thank you so much for inviting us, and the people I met were so inspirational around me, and it was legendary. So
Man,
that happens every time, man. I'm seeing more and more. The one thing AI is doing for me is making me really, really appreciate the human connection more than ever. Live alive with one another is something that I adopted for my people in the Sevens organization years ago, and it's now more than ever the philosophy, the
man.
lifestyle. It's got to be. We're going to talk about this radio station that's coming up here pretty soon too.
Yeah.
This is not a picture that's talking about it, but Nebraska Public Media has bought a radio station. It's interesting that it's 101.7 too, four away from 101.3
Yeah.
dial,
Mm.
and they're going to be doing a lot of stuff that 90 that KIOS is already doing. We're in the radio, so we'll talk about it. We'll talk about it Monday because it's interesting what's going on with that. Shout out to Nebraska Public Media for just being in the news game, making some progress here. They also acquired the Reader, and
They did. Yeah,
so,
they did.
So it's about time for us to have somebody on from the company. Talk about this a
Yeah.
little bit.
What's going on?
We're going to hit Odo a little later on. Check this out. And this is the Odo schedule for May 26th to 31st. Shout out to Knob Ties creative. The Knob Ties magazine family is going to be out there tonight in Odo Hi-Fi Lounge, excuse me, from 6 to 9. And then our one of our favorite DJs, Angie Spence, from 9 on is going to be spinning tonight at Odo. So shout out to them for that. Here's some more Knob Ties creators going to be there 6 to 9, and then Angie Spence from then on, and lots of other stuff going on the weekend. As you can see, more things coming up. DJ Short T is going to be there tomorrow night, so that's what's up. The 30th tomorrow night, so that's what's up. And then I'm a piano Sunday. DJ Be Easy is going to get down. Okay. Yeah, man. So lots going down. Odo Hi-Fi Lounge gets down. If you haven't been out to go feel educated and sophisticated and get your move on a little bit, then definitely go to put your pinkies high, put your best gear on, go to Odo Hi-Fi Lounge and feel like you in New York City or Japan or somewhere.
Come on now.
Yeah, get busy. You might catch us out there. So there you go. That's what's up.
There you go. What other reason do you need to come out? Tell me.
That's why I just call everybody like, you ready? Buddy's in town. That's all I got to say. Buddy's in town. It's time to hook up, time to meet up.
Make it happen.
Right on. We're going to go ahead and get out of here. I appreciate your words to the people. Shout out to everybody who joined us today. Pops says another great week of shows and great guests. Thank you guys for all the sacrifices you make to enlighten us and build us into a cohesive community. Have a great weekend and see you soon. See you on Monday. Appreciate you, Pops. Man. Also, I saw you shout out Marlon is your First Sky Omaha brother. I appreciate that comment that you made there. Yeah, we all proud of what Marlon has been doing for sure. And shout out to Miss Erica Fell, who got to stay around this whole show. It makes your contributions make a difference. I appreciate you being a part of it. That's what's up. And everybody else too. Thank you. RG, we can't do 3 hours. I'm sorry. I don't know what you're going through over here with you at work. He said people bugging him over there. He wanted us to do 3 hours because he said, fellas, I'm gonna need you to y'all to roll on hour 3 today because this project manager on my job about to get cussed out because trying to tell me to do stuff I'm already doing. I know the feeling, brother. I know the feeling. You better man than me. That's why I had to start my own business. I can't
man.
Sometime, bro.
Hey.
I didn't know.
Micromanagers.
I walked off the job. I had 100. I counted one time. I had about 89 jobs in my life. 89 jobs.
Really? Like you actually counted?
Counted. Yeah, bro.
Hey.
And as you can imagine, a lot of those are ones I walked off the day one. So yeah. I had a job at Mrs. Phil's Cookies, and I walked off 2 hours later after throwing cookies at the manager because they got that bad. Yeah, it started with you got to wear that hat. I ain't wearing that funny hat. your black such and such is gonna wear that MF and head. Oh, really? You gonna get these cookies upside the head, and I'll see you later. Got a lot of one-offs. So
Man.
yeah, I proved to myself a long time ago. Yeah, bro, you're gonna have to be your own boss here. Hard time working with folks. So don't get your blood pressure up, RG. Calm down. We're not gonna do 3 hours, but just keep us in mind this last hour. Just keep us in mind.
Yeah.
Maybe watch an old show on YouTube or something. Any parts of this interview that we had with Amanda Kephart, if you missed it, please go back to YouTube and check it out. Like and subscribe when you're over there. Also, shout out to all the members of the channel as well. All the new members too. The people, the $10 people, the $25 people, the $50 people. That's a way to support us. Go to firstskyOmaha.com and hit the join button and become a member of the channel. And also, thank you for people who are reaching out about advertising as well. We got advertising packages. We can definitely have you on to talk about what it is you got going on. If we align with your product, if we align with you, then we usually say yeah to that. Come on through. You can hit us up at firstskyOmaha@gmail.com, and we'll get back to you with a rate sheet and a conversation about how we can promote what you got going on, whatever campaign you got happening.
Man.
Yeah. And that's another way to support us. So thank you very much. Be looking for us being out. We're going to try to be outside this summer doing some things as well. Chet Chimers Kickback date coming soon.
Yes.
And shout out to everybody who's going to be at the last class tomorrow at the Content Creators Camp on Saturday there at the Heart Ministry Center. Yeah.
On by fast.
Really did. It was good. It was really good. And I'm looking forward to doing the fall version too. If you're interested in doing this with us, hit us up, firstskyOmaha@gmail.com. Let us know you're interested in Content Creator Camp for the fall. And we'll sign you up. Let's make it happen.
Before we get out of here, I did want to acknowledge Ariel's 402 Mayor Sanchez, letting the people know, man, RG, maybe you want to check this out. You got to realign the chakras, calm down a little bit. He says Papillion is doing the singing bowls at the Sumter Amphitheater June 3rd, 7 to 8 p.m. He says he's hoping to go. So yeah, maybe drop some more information in the Friends of First Sky if you can. Ariel's 402. Yeah.
There you go.
Get right with some singing bowls. I don't know if y'all, I try to meditate every day, get your mind right.
I put on a little Andre 3000 flute music.
That'll do the trick, man. Hey, whatever you got to do, man, make sure you get out there, take care of yourself, take care of your loved ones. If you're looking for some haps, check us out. Weekly rap coming out later on today. We'll have some haps in there for you, some more things, some more conversations, some more shout outs, man. So yeah, check us out. If you haven't already signed up, tap in the weekly rap. You can sign up on our website, firstskyOmaha.com. There's a newsletter button at the top. Click that, fill out the form, join. And we'll see you soon. In the meantime, between time, Paul B.
Yo.
Ready to get up out of here, man?
Let's do it. Shout out to the Umaha tribe elders for allowing us to be on this land and speak while we're here. Shout out to our elders allowing us to speak before you. And shout out to you, the Chat Chimers, allowing us to speak with you. Thanks for joining us today, all Chat Chimers. Thanks for tuning in, all Ghost listeners. And thanks for, spying on us. Monitoring spirits. Appreciate that too. And spread the word. Tell a friend. We will see you on Monday when we have the Senator Cipher. The last Senator Cipher of the season is going down. Hopefully we'll get Ashley Spivey back this time too. I'm gonna call her over the weekend, make sure she can make it. And the last Senator Cipher of the season is happening Monday. So we'll see you then. We got a lot more special guests for the rest of that week as well. Shout out to Johnny No Good that's going to join us that week as well. And we'll be talking to Calvin Williams shortly too. So lots of other people coming up here in this final few weeks of season 4B. Follow the money. Hope that we've learned something during this season. We'll be talking about it and do a little bit of review before we get out of here. Go ahead.
Just remember, we got Dale Gines. We finally caught our brother Dale Gines. I'm looking for we have some episodes for y'all as we finish out the season, man. Definitely stay tuned.
That's what's up. RG going to line his chakra with some dummies right now. Appreciate that. Tony Johnson says was on redress call last night. Recommended bringing Clarice on a show to talk about her, Omaha City budget and issues. Very good. We're definitely in contact with Clarice. If we get some time before the end of this season, love to have her on. I'm going to have her on more extensively next season because that's going to be teamwork makes the dream work, and there's a lot of stuff that she got going on there that's coalition building. We feel like she's one of the important coalition building people. That's her lane in a big way, and the kind of work she's doing. So we'll be hearing from her a lot. That redress movement we're going to have to dig into for sure. So I appreciate that, Tony Johnson, for sure. Miss Erica Pell says, see y'all at the family picnic, free tomorrow afternoon at Benson Park. Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah, come on
There
through
you
with
go.
that too. And get ready. I heard Kimber Snipes talking some mess the other day about her being domino queen, the king of the table. So we gotta have that Chet Chalmers kickback so Mayor Sanchez and Buddy can get their revenge. She's still reigning champ on the domino table.
Yeah.
This picture is so classic. Buddy head in hand, just head in hand. Like, I can't believe she won again.
It was a good game. Good game.
It was a good game. We'll see you guys play some good games this weekend with each other. We'll see you on Monday, y'all. Peace, peace, peace.
By the way, Vanglorious. This is protected by the red and